Hi, Tammy. How's it?
Hey Sid, I'm great, thanks. How are you?
Awesome. I'm happy that you in my land.
Yeah, yeah, quite something. It was changing and chopping of flights, and it was really, really crazy. But yeah, I made it safe and sound.
Awesome. I'm actually excited to, as usual, have you on, especially on a topic that people are really, it's such an important one because people are wanting to do business in Dubai because of its nature. And yeah, I'm happy to have you on to get the ball rolling with you, Tammy, is what had motivated you to start a business in Dubai and what were the first steps you took?
Okay, so I was not, to be very honest, I was never wanting to look at a business or anything of the sort. But two of our friends that are there already, they approached me because in Dubai, you when your visa is expired, your tourist visa or your working visa, you have to either start up a business or go onto a freelance visa, etc. So, one of our two of our friends that are there suggested one we get together, and the three of us have recruitment very strong as our backgrounds. So we decided to start up a recruitment company, and so we did the investigations and looked at what the cost was, and then we said we'll split it three ways. And Dubai is, the famous zero tax. So that's something that
Yeah.
people should consider. And you need to choose the right business activity. From my experience, I would say engage with the PRO. So in Dubai, they work very strongly with PROs. Engage with the PRO from the start, because there were some of the things that we could have avoided that have cost us quite a pretty penny financially. And had we engaged with the PRO from the very start, we could have curbed these unwanted expenses. So you need to know what type of business, because in Dubai they have sort of like business headings and then subheadings. And if you notice, like on my feeds, I used to post every day, like jobs and job adverts, etc.
Mm.
Because Dubai has become very, very strict with their posting. You can actually get fined because it's seen as advertising. So you
Oh.
cannot put, yeah, you cannot put something, even if I am sitting with you and I have
Mhm.
like gum now, and there's gum
Uh-huh.
here. This is a label, somebody's label, so you can't be promoting that, and you do get heftily fined. So it works out to 6,000, like 30,000 rand fine. So
Oh.
yeah, so you got to know the subheadings, and the best person to do that is a trained PRO who's done these sort of things, who has done business adventures, startups, etc., and can guide you through that process. And you also need to know a lot of, so you can't just start up a business anywhere in Dubai. So expats or people from outside that want to come and start up a business, you generally go into the free zone. The free zone you can start up on your own, no issues. If you have a big company like like one of the big players like the Microsofts or whatever, that you need a mainland license for, and
Okay.
then you need a local partner, a local Emirati partner to partner up with you so that you can, do your products or your services. Other than that, you're quite restricted when it comes to starting up a business in Dubai. So you need to know the who, the what, the why, the where, and
Hmm.
need to, as I said, you need to engage with the PRO to guide you through that process.
You mentioned about the advertising side. So what type of advertising is not really allowed? Because I find it a bit bizarre that you can't advertise. So does it depend on what you're advertising, I guess?
So, this is mainly targeted to the influencers. So,
Okay.
especially like for myself, if I'm going to uh, gelato divino and I'm having an ice cream, and I'm saying, you know, this is, I'm standing behind the sign or above the sign or below the sign. That's advertising. That's showing that I'm having, you know, something, even though I'm paying for the ice cream, and I'm
Yeah.
just telling you that the ice cream is so good. So this
Mm.
is all the influencers, all the media people. So everybody, like you would see, I know in South Africa, it's like a free for all. You can go
Mm.
in, you can go and buy a chicken meal or fast food, and you can say, oh, this is crap or this is good. You can
Mm.
advertise,
Mm.
and sometimes you do get like a meal voucher, etc. There, unless you have a media license, you cannot do that.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's mainly targeted at those media influencers.
All right. Okay, there's a comment question for you here already from Jitin Rishika. Hi, Tammy. What is the minimum cost of starting a business in Dubai? How long does a business permit last, or is there an expiry date?
Expire. Okay. So thank you for the question. So the minimum cost from my experience is just a basic, very, very basic. If I to equate it, it works out to something like 80,000 Rand.
Oh,
So you got to have your business license. You know, you have these, you have a lot of adverts saying, oh, you can start up a business with you know, like 1,000 dirhams, which is like 5,000 Rand.
yeah.
Not very true. Just your license, yes, you can get it. But with that, you've got to have everything else. So you've got to have your premises. Or what people do is, like in a building, you hire office space. So in an office, you can hire like a desk to have it as your address. So like the free zones, which is Ajman, Sharjah, all those type of free zones. Look, it's very costly to actually get premises.
Mm.
So people hire or rent out a desk space to use that as your address. And you need to have the address. You need to have your tax startup. You need to have
Mm.
to register the business for tax. That's an additional cost. You also need, like, you get the PRO, you get somebody that helps you out with your business, your you know, your paperwork, taking your business to market, advertising, etc. You need to have that person as well. That comes with an additional cost. Then you have to have a bank account. With the bank account, you need to have a minimum of 5,000 dirhams in there, which is like
Wow.
five. That's 25,000 rand, basic
Yeah.
in touch. There's a lot of the other expenses. Then you've got to have your telephone lines with your mobile provider. Those things also come at a cost. So when you rack that up, all those costs do add up. And then your business license. Oh, to that, you can get they have different categories. So you can get a visa with that business license. So if you want to have you know, give 10 people, say you're starting up and you've got 10 people wanting to work with you, you can get a visa for 10 people. You can get it for one person, you can get it for 20 people. So all those things come at a cost. And then in terms of the expiry is year on year. So everything in Dubai, like your license, your ID card, etc., your EID, is 2 years. But when it comes to business, although they you buy it for a 2 year period, everything else is for the 2 year period. But the actual license on year, you have to renew it every year on the date, on the anniversary of the business. So yes, you need to have, you know, some good capital behind you when you want to start up a business there.
Interesting. What are the key differences between setting up a free zone in a free zone, mainland or offshore company in Dubai?
So the free zone is 100% foreign ownership, right? So you've got your tax benefits. You In a free zone, you're actually limited to operating within that free zone area. You cannot directly trade with the UAE. As I mentioned, the mainland license, you cannot trade in Dubai. with UAE partners if you don't have a mainland license. The the free zone, it's fairly quick and easy to start up. You can
Okay.
start up like a one-man show in, not really needing a big premises or the like. There's startups, there's fast processes that you can go for, which is like your DMCC. It's I think it's Dubai something commodity center, then it's Dubai Internet City, and then you get the Jabal Ali free zone, and then I told you about Ajman, which was the one that I went for as well. Then the mainland license, it's a little bit more of a lengthy procedure where you've got to do more paperwork, etc. There you
Okay.
can operate anywhere in the UAE. You can bid for government contracts. You can, unfortunately, with the mainland, there's not 100% ownership. As I said, you need to partner with a local to be able to trade. So I don't know what the percentage is, but you
Okay.
need them. And then that, the mainland license is licensed by the, we call it the DED, the DED. It's the Department of Economic Development. So you need to partner, and everything gets registered with them. So that's that kind of business is good for your retail shops, for your restaurants, like small, well, not, well, I would say more medium business, like the construction companies, those kind of things where you're providing a more larger scale products and services. Then the other one is the offshore companies that is mainly used for the international trade. There you cannot operate inside the UAE, so it's basically like your passing trade, I would say. And I know a lot of Chinese people, because of the trade, they actually go for the offshore company licenses. So it's often used for your like asset holding, your the international trading, etc. So there's no, you don't need a physical premises for that. And so some of the legal requirements there, you need to know what type of business activities you want to do. You need to obviously, same like South Africa, book three names and see which one comes out. You need to apply for, as I said, for the approval, get it done by the government. There's so many other government entities that need to go through this whole process, and there's a whole lot of documents. So you need to there you need to obviously, with the mainland, you need to secure office space. That's called your the ijari. That's for the mainland, where you need the office space, and then obviously you need the visas there as well with the bank accounts, your VAT registration, and then you get your VAT registration as well as corporate tax um, application or registration as well. So those are the two. The mainland is much more um, tedious and more
Yeah.
lengthy. I would say it takes a lot of time. But depending on the what type of business, you would look at anything from 15,000 dirhams to maybe
Wow.
40,000 dirhams plus. So times that by five, and or 4.8, I think it is now, and that would be your rand value. But on a regular basis, you don't think that, okay, that's the initial cost and that's done and dusted. No, there's on
Mm.
cost where your license renewal, your visa cost, your office lease, the corporate tax, your accounting services,
Hmm.
also if you've got visas for your staff under that license, even those, after a 2-year period, you need to renew those. So the immigration costs, the marketing, the branding, the bank compliance, excuse me, there's a lot of fees that are not really
Mm.
upfront, and you learn as you go along. So if you do not have a good capital to boost,
Mm.
you can be in for quite a shocker. Like come for a year, and then you need to renew licenses, etc. And yeah, it can be quite a tedious process.
Yeah, I was just actually thinking. That's why the main billion-dollar companies mainly come to Dubai, I would assume, because they have all that capital, if I'm correct to assume that.
Absolutely. But trust me, once you get your foot in the door there, once you get in there,
Hmm.
the the Emirati sort of like hold your hand through the process, and they like advertise your business for you, and they put you in touch with their key network. And I've not heard of any large company that's went there and ran a bust. So you get there, and they really, because they want to make money as well. I mean, everywhere you turn, there's money. So it is good. The big companies, yes, they do get in there, and they can really make it big.
I think you had mentioned about the ownership. Is it like South Africa, whereby when a overseas company comes, they have to give 30% ownership? Is it like that in Dubai or not really?
So the I'm not sure the percentage, but yes, you have
Okay.
to have, yeah, there is so there is the joint venture that you have, or the partnership that you have to have, but that's only for the mainland license.
Okay. Awesome. What legal requirements and licensing processes should new entrepreneurs be aware of?
So for each business, I would say that you need to check, do your homework very, very carefully, because there's a lot that for both the types of businesses, there's things differ. Your visa statuses differ, so you need to know, like for one, your business license, your subcategories, and then that even broken down further, your staff, your there's quite a few of the stuff. I don't know about the mainland in detail, but if you're
Mhm.
running like your small business like in a free zone, as I mentioned, you need to know, you have to have the business license, the bank, the business, the VAT, and the corporate tax. Those are your main things, and your visa as well. So those are the type of things that you need initially, and you need to have your licenses done for that.
Regarding the corporate tax, I'm sure it's not as high as compared to, I would say, other countries like maybe England or something like that.
No, so this is why people do business or do partnerships with Dubai, because obviously with the tax, there's the tax is little to none. So you
Wow.
that yeah, and the main players are the big boys, the big boys,
Mhm.
and they actually get away with these things.
Awesome. What are the biggest financial considerations in starting a business in Dubai, including setup costs and ongoing expenses?
So in a free zone, where basically any man and his mother can trade, you a minimum, as I mentioned, of I would say between 12,000 dirhams. So that's say about 60,000 rand to about 150,000 rand. You That's encompassing everything. For the mainland, I know the base cost just for the license is about 15,000. That's
Oh,
dirhams. So you need, and obviously on that, it's compacted, or laden on top, where the other costs coming in. So each one needs to have, you need to do proper homework to find out, what am I in for? What does this entail? So your startup cost initially for getting the business started up, your premises, the license renewals, the visa cost, office space. As I told you, you can run from your home office, but depending on where your business license is, if you're going in the free zone, you need to rent an office space in the free zone. So you can do a desk space rental as well, to camouflage or to get that address name, and you can operate from your home. Initially, what we've been challenged with is they send these, they like these agents from the government, where they come and they actually look that, okay, yes, you've rented out a desk in this office, or you rented out an office, so they want to come and physically visit you. So those are the type of things that, even though even the South Africans that want to go abroad and start up the business, you need to be there physically for this initial startup. I know a lot of people, they'll say, oh, I'll go there for 2 weeks and I'll get it done. You might get the license done, but these things that come behind it, where they send out the agents to come and physically see that yes, there's an office space, there's a desk space, you need to be there for that. So those are the things that you need to be aware of, and obviously the compliances as well. There's a lot of immigration compliance, your banking compliance, the marketing and branding, etc.
Wow. What common mistakes do new business owners make when launching in Dubai?
So for me, for one, is we went with a recruitment company, and as I told you, there's subcategories in there. You need to know those categories. So, say if I say marketing and branding, right? So my idea is I'm in recruitment. I'm advertising a job that goes under marketing and branding, right? The I told you with the new rule of influencers needing this permit, that
Mm,
does not allow me to advertise. Say if I'm advertising for your company, say Siddhartha and Sons, whatever. I'm doing five application or five job descriptions. I've got your name on there. That's advertising.
okay.
So, and it comes with hefty penalties. So sit down with a PRO and know what jurisdictions there are. Choose wisely. Um, don't underestimate the cash flow, because you need the buffers, because there's so much of running around. There's so much that you need. Some of the places actually needed proper photographs of the three of us. They needed a proposal done. So if you're not savvy in those type of things with getting your documents in order, you need to pay people to actually do these things for you. So those are additional costs that you don't really budget for. You don't really know about these things, especially when you're doing the foreign business startup. You don't know until you're in there, and then these things can crop up and really cost you. Your visa limitations as well. You need to find out how long is the visa. Yes, you can buy a golden visa. You can, if you buy property to the value of 2 million
Yeah.
dirhams, which is about 10 million rand, you qualify
Wow.
the golden visa automatically. So, and also do not ignore the corporate tax obligations to the company. That's something you need to have. If you don't have an accountant to do that for you, if you're running like a small company, those are the type of things that you need to be cognizant of upfront. Have all your paperwork, have all your receipts, have everything that, like if you're claiming back for anything, have everything documented and have a spreadsheet with everything. And research the bank approvals as well, because some of the banks, they're quite strict on what they require. When we finished with the bank, we had a 33-page document that of
Oh.
thing that we had to fill out and give to the bank. So it was quite a lengthy process. And a lot of the business owners, they underestimate the setup cost. So I would say whatever is said to you, that yes, it might be 15 to 30,000 dirhams, have three times the larger amount, because it can really cost you.
Regarding the influencers, right? To be an influencer in Dubai, like, are there any like major fee to be one there?
Yes, so there's a lot of, I've worked with, I do adverts as well. So I've worked with a lot of the large influencers, that have like 3 million followers, 10 million followers, etc.
Oh,
So
wow.
those people. So what happens is, say if I contact you and I say, hey Sid, I'm sending you, I don't know, say I'm doing health, nutritional stuff, and I'm sending you this box. So you do the unboxing and you say, oh wow, this is a protein drink, and this is energy booster, this is some vitamin, and so this is showing you, advertising my product, even though I'm sending you the product for free. You cannot do that
Yeah.
now with, you're very very restricted. So you have to have that permit. The permit, they tell you now, it is, the permit is free for 3 years.
Okay.
And but it's not actually free, because I went to go and register for it under my current business, to get that permit under marketing and branding, and I couldn't do it. It's specific for media licensing. You need to get a separate license on your media side, right? It's for the influencers, etc. You need to have your police clearance certificate. That's another 1,000 rand. There's so many other things. So in total, I was looking at 30,000 rand, which I really didn't
Ah,
have to start up a business, or to start up the media, to get the media
yeah.
permit.
Hectic. Finally, what advice would you give expats or international entrepreneurs who are considering starting a business in Dubai today?
Firstly, I would say go and visit the place. Don't speculate. Don't trust. Yes, the Google is brilliant. ChatGPT is
Mm.
brilliant. Being there physically and doing your work online, chalk and cheese. Absolute chalk and cheese. Depending on your type of business, speak to multiple people as you can. There's a lot of groups in Dubai. There's a lot of WhatsApp groups, Facebook groups, TikTok, there's, you name it, there's a lots and lots and lots of businesses that you can speak to people there. Recently, I've seen such a flood, an influx of people doing property. They feel that, okay, so for example, I see this opportunity, for a developer, and they're selling off these apartments. So they, I don't know if but recently all the major players, like the car brands, which is like your Lamborghini, um, the my memory eludes me now. So like your Lamborghini, your Ferrari, your Mercedes,
Yeah.
those are ones. They're actually building apartments. All right.
Okay.
And so you need to, so if I need to now go there and say, oh, here's Sid, my buddy in South Africa, and he wants to buy an apartment. So here I go and do the deal, and I'm the middleman. I say, here, Sid, here you go, this is an amazing opportunity, the return on investment is brilliant, buy this apartment. So I get it and I make a nice big amount of cash, and then I think, oh, this can work. What I do, I'm going to start up a business. I promise you, in the apartment that I'm living in, the apartment building, there's 4 property agents. In the area itself, I counted 52 property agents.
Wow.
So some of them, exactly like the example that I've told you, sell one property and think, oh, okay, Bob's your uncle, this is easy, I can do it. And they can start up a business, but they don't realize the other cost to it. If you're wanting to do that, partner up with somebody that's doing it. So there's a lot of companies that I know of where they call it the housewives plan, or network, where, like, you're going out with your friends, and you're going for a cup of tea or a lunch or something, and you say, hey, you know what, there's an opportunity to buy an apartment, if you know. So that housewife will get, just for the referral, she'll get 1% of the deal.
Awesome.
So you can do things like that, instead of going and doing this large startup, and then it doesn't work out for you, and then within 6 months, then you want to close it down, or within the year you want to close it down. So even the and also find out what are the the bank account that you can open, that you should do very early on in the process.
Oh.
Um, for certain things like your cell phone, to get your cell phone, you need the bank account, you need the address, you need the license, you need so many things. So you need to find out the steps of
Mm.
how to go, what comes first, what do you need, because we found ourselves doing, that type of thing. Oh, we need this to get that. Oh, we need that to get this. So we find, there was no systematic approach where somebody guided us. Had we approached a PRO from the start, we could have eliminated a lot of these things. So it was a lot of trial and error. And as I said to you, it can cost you quite a pretty penny if you don't have the funds for it. I would say budget as well for at least 6 to 12 months of operating expenses. Things that you may not even fathom may come in front of you. Just have a lot of capital for operating expenses. Sometimes it's meeting up with people, a meeting. There's a lot of cost that comes through. Oh, the other thing I forgot to mention is, like how you get your BEE certificate
Mm.
and stuff, there's in the different Emirates, they have different ways of operating. So, speaking from experience, we had an oil and gas company that I think they had. So the oil and gas companies has bulk recruitment. So when there's a shutdown, they require more staff, temporary contract staff, and with the bulk recruitment, you can make a lot of money, but
Wow.
you for that area for Abu Dhabi, we needed a special license to work with them, which we did not have, and it's very similar to your BE certificate, but in the Dubai side, it's not required. And the other thing as well is, which is extremely difficult, is if you are tendering for a business, like if you're in the mainland and you're tendering, they want to see what your percentage is of Emiratis. So
Oh.
your local people working. And what I've found is, it's very difficult to get local people to work. Very, very difficult. And I don't know if I'm restricted to say this or not, but the government actually pays the locals a percentage higher to work. So maybe they just got too much of money and they don't, understand. They don't want to really work, rather. Um, Also, the other thing, you need to have your networking. Go to the breakfast dinners, meet up. If you the female, go to the ladies startup business startups. And there's Dubai also rewards certain type of like, speed rewards and relationship credibility. They reward, those sort of things. And it's not always about, like the market position. So it's very similar here, like the who's know who you're dealing with.
Mm.
And yeah, if you get good networks there, good
Mm.
relationships going, you can actually make it very big.
Awesome. All I gotta say that thanks so much for your time, Tammy, and as usual, I'll catch you next week. Or maybe
Sure.
during while you're still here in South Africa.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you. Love and light to all the listeners and the viewers. We'll chat next week.
Okay.